I call this meeting of the MSAD 49 Board of School Directors to order. Roll call, Bouchard. Wooten, here. Boyden. Here. Brownwoods. Here. Caverly is unable to make it tonight. Davis Folsom. Here. Dumont. Hashi. Hussey. Here. Knowles. Here. Lambert is unable to make it this evening. White. Here. And Williams. The Pledge of Allegiance. Before we move on to the agenda, I'd like to introduce and welcome Joel Bouchard. He is the new representative for Fairfield, so welcome. And this is Jenny Boyden's last board meeting, and I just wanted to thank you, Jenny, for your guidance and your financial mind and the dedication that you had to the district and seeing out some really hard times, so thank you. Moving on, approval of minutes. Is there a motion to accept the minutes of the June 3rd, 2021 board meeting?
So moved.
It has been moved by Terry and seconded by Roy to accept the minutes of the June 3rd, 2021 board meeting. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? 7. All those opposed? 0. Abstain? Thank you. Citizens input? All right, seeing none. There's no old business. New business. Recognition of everyone that is here tonight, so thank you for coming.
Good evening, and thank you all for being here tonight as we recognize some very special employees, staff members, teachers, some of whom have dedicated certainly their careers and a good part of their blood, sweat, and tears, life passions to serving children and families in the school community. We are going to begin with some recognition of staff outside of the board awards and outside of the retirees. As I mentioned at the last meeting, Mr. Kevin Milady was named Somerset County Teacher of the Year. He can't be here this evening. However, Mr. Bowers would like to share some comments with you all about Kevin's good work with our students and our staff at Lawrence High School.
Thank you. Kevin's at a Teacher of the Year, County Teacher of the Year event tonight, so we couldn't be here, which he probably is just as pleased about because he doesn't like all the hubbub that we've endowed and bestowed upon him. But Kevin has just completed his 43rd year of teaching at Lawrence High School. He's taught all science subjects. Most recently, he's our biology teacher, teaching all levels from general to AP Bio. One of the cool things that he's known for is a game he invented to engage kids in critical thinking skills. It's called the Shadow Game, which would normally take place in April over the vacation. He creates clues to have the kids solve a doomsday scenario, and there's a time limit to it, so quite often in the past he's stayed overnight in the gym. Kids have been working throughout the night to try and solve the dilemma of the case before a doomsday scenario takes place. He's one of the most respected faculty members by his peers and students here at the high school, and gives himself to mentor new teachers rather. He doesn't like the attention, as I said, that comes with the award because he feels he's just doing what any good teacher would do. He turns student work and lab reports around to them the very next day. He prides himself on that, and the learning never stops. There's no pause, so they can wait for their test to come back, at the end of the week or whatever, or find out what they may have missed in the lab report. He gets it right back to them. For this award, also, he was recognized by the State House. Representative Rednecki came in on Monday and read the House sentiments to him. And then on Tuesday, we had Special Representative Ben Tucker to Senator Angus King come in and read a special recognition from Senator King on Tuesday when we had our Growth and Achievement Awards. So he's a valuable colleague, friend to all here at Lawrence High School. We were very pleased that he was recognized. He would not have gone through the recognition process had it not been for a student who nominated him last year. He said that to myself and to others that, like I said, he doesn't go in for the accolades, but because Haley Hersey nominated him, he followed through and sure enough was recognized for everything that we do all along. So congratulations to Kevin.
Thank you, Mr. Bowers. Mr. Wedge is here to share a tribute to Josh Lund, who is a music teacher at Benton Elementary School and has done some wonderful things for our students outside of the classroom and outdoor learning spaces. So, Mr. Wedge.
Josh, would you please stand up? Normally with our mics at Benton, you have to really put your mouth on the mic. I don't think I need to here. And Josh has been the one that's helped me among all the staff. I know he's been very helpful. I guess I do have some things I want to share, but just to preface it that Josh is an incredibly committed teacher to his students, to the school community, and to his craft. And he's very gifted with digital media, sound, and so he's been a great resource for myself and to his colleagues at Benton, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Most recently coming up with the Bikes for Books video, and he made me look and sound better than I could have imagined, so I really do appreciate it. But I'd like to highlight this specific recognition, and I'm going to read this. Each year, a small number of schools are selected for the Maine Kids Rock program. This year, Josh applied, and Benton Elementary was chosen to be a Maine Kids Rock school. Maine Kids Rock is a joint venture between the Maine DOE and the Little Kids Rock organization. The overarching goal is to continue to make music more accessible to students through modern band programs. Modern band is a 21st century approach to music education that focuses on music technology, instruments like guitar, bass, keyboards, and drums, and is especially focused on making connections between music and the student's life outside of school. We believe that this approach can and will be an avenue to music for students who will not traditionally be involved in music. As a Maine Kids Rock school, Benton Elementary will be provided with everything we need to get this program started. Josh will receive training, resources, curriculum materials, and a selection of instruments and equipment at no cost. We are planning to incorporate Maine Kids Rock techniques into the general music classroom, as well as establishing a co-curricular modern band ensemble. We're very excited to bring music into the 21st century at Benton. Thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate it. Congratulations.
recognition awards, the 2021 Board Recognition Awards, beginning with Educational Technician. This award is given to an educational technician for accomplishments significantly beyond the expected duties of the position held. This year's recipients are Norma Fletcher. And if I could read a little bit about Norma Fletcher. Norma is our Albion Elementary School librarian. She provides a welcoming atmosphere for our students. Norma created a library Google Classroom for students and families to access read-alouds, projects, and provide resources. She puts a great deal of time and effort into her work and is very much appreciated by students and staff. Thank you, Norma. Please come forward. Our next recipient is Loretta Thompson. Loretta is in Special Education Resource Room at Benton Elementary. She is truly invested in ensuring all students are capable of reaching their ultimate potential. Loretta has a positive attitude, takes on extra duties and responsibilities whenever asked. She is considered a great asset to Benton Elementary and is a prime example of an exceptional team member. Thank you so much, Loretta Thompson. Please come forward. Faculty Certificate. This award is given to educators for accomplishments beyond the expected duties of the position held. Commitment and dedication to youth, their welfare, achievement, and education will be recognized through this award. Professional accomplishments, as well as efforts that go beyond regular activities to improve or promote the learning process, will be highlighted. Deb DeLong. Literacy teacher at Clinton Elementary. Deb holds a leadership role in the literacy program and is the data collector for the program. She is highly organized and knowledgeable in literacy skills and writing instruction. Deb is a member of the school council and coordinates the Title I parent involvement events. She is a dedicated teacher, and we thank you so much, Deb. Next recipient of the faculty certificate is Robin Witham. Robin, would you please come forward? Robin is a special education teacher at Lawrence Junior High. She motivates her students to work hard and succeed. Robin has a positive attitude, engages her students, and remains professional and courteous in the most difficult of times. She has been considered a driving force for students to understand and complete their work. Robin is very invested and dedicated to her students. Thank you, Robin. Our next recipients will be receiving staff certificates. This award is given to an employee whose efforts are instrumental in the smooth, effective operation of our school system. His or her work ethics are exemplary in approaching the people and tasks encountered. This first group, and it is a group of a very vital part of our organization, especially we have noticed since the closure of schools due to COVID last March, is our technology department. Would you please stand? Zach Cushing, Michael Gifford, John Holt, and Lori Faulkner. Lori, Zach, Michael, and John make up our technology department. They project a willingness to go above and beyond for all students and staff. Throughout the COVID crisis, they have worked diligently to support students. They have organized professional development, set up special devices, driven to students' homes, responded to emails and phone calls throughout the year, and I would say the day and the evening as well, all with a positive attitude. They work hard and care about all of the people in our district, and that is so wholly true, and we thank you very much. Our next recipient is Lisa Moore. Lisa, would you please come forward? Lisa is our Lawrence High School Guidance Secretary. This year, Lisa took on additional responsibilities in her office due to a coworker being out for an extended time. She calmly, willingly, and professionally accomplished additional tasks and continued on with her own work without complaint. Lisa is a dedicated professional and a much highly valued staff member. Thank you so much, Lisa. One person who can't be here this evening, his name is Dana Burgoyne. Dana is a custodian at Clinton Elementary School. He assures that the school is clean, sanitized, and safe for all students and staff. Dana greets staff members and the students at the door every day. He is a hard worker who completes more than his share with a smile on his face. So thank you, Dana Burgoyne. Our next staff member is Eric Starner. Would you please come forward, Eric? Maybe not available this evening? Okay, but I'm going to read about Eric. He's a custodian at Fairfield Primary. Eric received 8 separate nominations for this award. He is considered to always be willing to go above and beyond. Eric is dedicated, helpful, friendly, and a true gentleman, a team player and a positive member of Fairfield Primary. Students and staff depend on him, and he never lets them down. So thank you, Eric. Our next recipient is Jane Reardon. Jane, would you please come forward? Jane is the kitchen manager at Benton Elementary School. Numerous nominations came in for Jane, and she is respected by her staff and students. She sincerely cares about everyone in the school and goes the extra mile in everything she does on a daily basis. Thank you very much, Jane. And our final recipient is not able to be here this evening, but I will tell you about her. Her name is Renee Oakes. Renee is the school secretary at Fairfield Primary School, known as the school's frontline worker and master of all tasks. Renee carries out multiple tasks with grace and professionalism, described as a Wonder Woman with a calming voice, ready smile, and the integrity to carry out any and all challenges. Thank you so much, Renee Oakes. So our next bit of recognition this evening are our retirees, and they are going to receive a school bell. And I, for one, am old enough to remember being on a playground with a teacher ringing the bell that it was recess was over, and it was time to come in. And I can read a little bit about what the bell symbolizes. By its very nature, the teacher's hand bell is a classic symbol of honorable services to the education profession. And looking at the number of years all told that these people have contributed, as I said earlier, to our families, our children, and these, for some, probably a few generations of children, and that's such a wonderful thing. And certainly they will not be forgotten, but to take a moment and reflect on all that it takes to be a school teacher. It takes, among many things, a very special heart and a love for and a passion for just purely helping someone learn and grow. And it is one of our most important things we do in the rearing of children is to offer them this chance in public education and encourage them and help them grow, along with their families, so that they have the courage and the intuitive drive, I guess, to move themselves forward at some point. So tonight, the first person we recognize is Sue Barton. She is not able to be here this evening, and she is our Benton Elementary School nurse of 18 years. So thank you very much, Sue, especially in this year, for your service to our children. Our next recipient is Ann Bates. Ann, would you please come forward? Ann Bates is a Clinton Elementary classroom teacher, and she has worked for 35 years. So thank you very much, Ann. Our next recipient is Diane Engler. Diane, would you please come forward? Person. Diane is a Clinton Elementary Title I teacher, and she has served for 47 years. Thank you so much. Our next recipient is Cynthia Gagney. She's not able to be here this evening, but she's a Benton Elementary guidance counselor, and she has served our children for 23 years. So thank you, Cynthia. Our next recipient is Lori Laporte. Lori, would you please come forward? Your husband, that's wonderful. Well, congratulations, wonderful. Lori Laporte has served as art teacher at Lawrence Junior High, and you've taught some other subjects. I know Spanish among them for 34 years, and I think if you move around this building at all, you will see Lori's hand and influence as the art and works of display peppered around the building are inspirational, and it's been, I'm speaking because I served as junior high principal and worked with Lori for many years. This is one class that children really look forward to. It was a high point in their day, and I thank you for all that you've done for our kids. And our last recipient this evening is Rhonda Weeks. Would you please come forward, Rhonda? Big smile under that mask. Yeah, it feels good, and it's wonderful. Rhonda has served as a Clinton Elementary school teacher for 35 years, and for that we thank you so much, and we wish you all a joyous retirement and good health. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I don't know if you guys want to stay and listen to the rest of the meeting. You're welcome to.
Turn around and take your picture.
Really?
Yeah. Drop them things. We don't need them on.
No, okay. Quickly.
Yeah, take it off.
Quickly.
Did it go off?
I don't know.
I heard a click.
She's gonna have 17 of them.
Yeah. because of all of our kids. I miss that in your role in the district. It's so sincere. Yeah, we all have lots to. We all have to grow forward. Not just the children, the adults. It's so sweet. I'm going to miss everyone. And I appreciate the opportunities I've had. My reading role, so many of my reading roles I've had of different superintendents. Oh, when I saw the amount of papers that were in my personal account. Oh my goodness. At Fabian, probably. Yes, and Janine and just what she did. I have not had the time to go through it. And just see, oh, yes, that's there too. So it's just, thank you. I say thank you.
Thank you. You're kind and sweet, and I am so grateful for that opportunity.
It's been a pleasure.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Take care. Be well. Keep on doing it. Okay, one day at a time. All right. Thank you.
All right, moving on in the agenda. The MSAD board, school board motion voted that the computation and declaration of votes dated June 8th, 2021, and attached hereto be approved. Further voted that the computation and declaration of votes be entered upon the records of the main school administrative district number 49. Further voted that the certified copy of the computation and declaration of votes be sent to each of the municipal clerks of the member municipalities within Main School Administrative District number 49. Is there a motion? It's been moved by Jenny, seconded by Heather. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? None. Is there a motion to move that the warrant for assessment of tax and the assessment schedule and notice of installments for each member municipality prepared by the treasurer for fiscal year 2021-2022 be approved and be issued in form presented to this meeting, and that the treasurer be authorized and directed to deliver to each member municipality its warrant for assessment of tax and its assessment schedule and notice of installments. I caught Heather. It's been moved by Jenny, seconded by Heather. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 0, 0. Is there, so before I read this motion, Mrs. Hersom handed out to all of the board members the vote to authorize issuance of tax and revenue anticipation. This is something that we don't have to read, but it was prepared for us. I'm sorry, read in the motion, but it was prepared for us. Is there a motion to move that the vote entitled Vote to Authorize Issuance of $1,250,000 tax and revenue anticipation note be approved in form presented to this meeting, and then the secretary file an attested copy of said vote with the minutes of this meeting? It's been moved by Jenny, seconded by Terry. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 9, 0, 0. Is there a motion to award the milk bids to Ogre's Dairy as proposed by the food service director? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. Was it? Oh, thank you, Billy Joe. It's been moved by Jenny, seconded by Billy Joe, to award the milk bids to Ogre's Dairy as proposed by the food service director. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Abstain? 8. And opposed, 0. Is there a motion to award the bread bids to Dennis Paper as proposed by the food service director? It's been moved by Jenny, seconded by Billy Joe, to award the bread bids to Dennis Paper as proposed by the food service director. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 8. All those opposed? All those abstain? Okay. Is there a motion to award the prime vendor food and non-food market basket bids to Dennis Paper as proposed by the food service director? It's been moved by Jenny, seconded by Roy, to award the prime vendor food and non-food market basket bids to Dennis Paper. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Abstain? I did not get it. Thank you. Is there a motion to award paper and chemical bids to Dennis Paper as proposed by the food and service director? I'm sorry, who's the second? Billy? Thank you. It's been moved by Heather, seconded by Billy Joe, to award paper and chemical bids to Dennis Paper. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 8. All those opposed? All those abstain? Is there a motion to authorize the superintendent to offer contracts on behalf of the district during the summer months? John? It's been moved by Joel, seconded by Jenny, to authorize the superintendent to offer contracts on behalf of the district during the summer months. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 9, 0, 0. Is there a motion to authorize the transfer of funds between articles, cost centers, not to exceed 5% of the cost center that the funds are being transferred from to close out fiscal year 2021? Been moved by Terry, seconded by Joel, to authorize the transfer of funds between articles, cost centers not to exceed 5% of the cost center that the funds are being transferred from to close out fiscal year 2021. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 9, 0, 0. Is there a motion to authorize the superintendent to accept grants on behalf of the district? Been moved by Jenny, seconded by Billy I'm sorry. Was it Sarah? Okay. Sorry, Sarah. So it's been moved by Jenny, seconded by Sarah to authorize the superintendent to accept grants on behalf of the district. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 9-0-0. Resignations. Sierra Bernard, Fairfield primary teacher, resignation June 2021. Kevin Robinson, Albion teacher, resignation June 2021. Appointments. Is there a motion to authorize the superintendent to offer Kaylee Pomelo? It is Pomelo, thank you. A promotion, a position as Lawrence High School Performing Arts teacher for 2021-2022 school year. I got roll on that one. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Oh, sorry, there's information.
A little bit of a biographical, so this is for the Performing Arts Theater position at the high school. Kaylee received her Bachelor of Arts in Theater and Dance from Colby College, and her experience has been Technical Director for Young Performers Camp at Lakewood Theater for 6 years, and I believe she's also served as an educational technician in Augusta Public Schools.
Thank you, Rebecca. So, all those in favor? 9-0-0. Committee reports. Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Danielle. First, I'd like to report what our summer and fall planning for Maine pre-K to 12 schools will be for our governor, our commissioner, and for the CDC. As of June 30th, the mask mandate is lifted from the requirement in public schools. But also in this announcement, it was a press conference from June 9th. And I will just quote from the department: given Maine's significant progress to date in vaccinating its population and reducing the spread of COVID-19, the state of Maine intends to modify the aforementioned public health guidance, which previously we spoke at the last board meeting, and I had Deanna Turlow talk about pool testing as a condition for removing the requirement of distancing among students if you participated at a 30% threshold. But since that time, the government has said that it will lift all physical distancing requirements for pre-K to 12 schools and adult education programs effective at the start of the 2021 school year. Schools will strongly be encouraged to participate in pool testing to protect those students for whom the COVID-19 vaccine has not yet been authorized. And then it will minimize the disruption of education and exclusion from extracurricular activities resulting from having to quarantine when a person has been identified as a close contact. And I just want to inform you that we are going to continue to offer that option to parents and families, and thank you to our school nurses and our assistant superintendent, Patricia Watts, who are working to coordinate that, and that information is on our website, on the banner page, and I think a robocall has gone out to families, but we're not compelled in any way to do that, but we'll offer that. And of course, personnel and students are free to wear masks if they choose, but it is no longer a requirement. So as a result of these changes, the Mills administration expects all schools to offer full-time, in-person education in the fall, and certainly the school district will be doing that, so it's a welcome relief after a long haul. And thank you to all of those who gave all they had to make this work for kids and their families. And we're gonna move MSAD 9 forward and leave this in the rear view, and we look forward to it. So that is one of the things I wanted to mention. We are going to continue to use federal funds in this next round, maybe last round, not sure. ESSER 3 talked a little bit about some of those projects we intend to file at the last board meeting, but we will continue to use the monies for additional staff. I think that worked very well in the schools and gave some flexibility. We are going to purchase some more microbuses, and I also mentioned that in the last meeting, as a means to transport small groups of students without needing a person with a CDL to move a big bus around. And having that capacity will be very helpful in the short and long term. And looking at outdoor learning spaces, I've asked the principals to work with their staff, individual staff, respective staff, on some projects and ideas. And our intention is to use that money to expand the facilities that we have and improve upon them as a place where students and staff can enjoy the outside in innovative ways. And I think Josh Lund and the work that he did with that equipment at Benton is a great example. We intend to put some new playground equipment down at Fairfield Primary and Albion and Clinton. I did hear from those groups already. And the junior and senior high is looking at upgrading the trail out here and perhaps creating some outdoor theater, but spending the funds on things that are sustainable and we can point to as a good use and something that is also to be enjoyed by the community. So we're going to work on those projects. We have through September of 24 to expend those. So though the grant, the application is not open yet, we expect it to be open at the end of this month. We were able to begin to obligate funds, and we are using some of those monies for extended school day, extended school year, and some of those additional staff positions right now. But I will update you at our next meeting on how the grant is developing. Some of the other pieces, as much as we can, to take the money and invest in capital improvement that is allowable. We've talked a great deal about the upgrade to our ventilation systems here at the Lawrence Complex and at Benton, and those are the only areas where there is a mechanical system to upgrade. So we intend to do that with this one-time money. And also, I mentioned last meeting, and I have contacted the department that paving is an allowable expense for these funds, and we intend to pave this complex here and also repair some of the other sites in the way of the importance of site circulation, and this federal relief money is aimed at improving things like that for the operation of schools and the health and safety. This certainly qualifies, so we're going to be working on those projects and continue with the window replacement in this campus. And just an update, the engineers, I believe, were in the high school this morning beginning the preliminary part of that Siemens work at Lawrence. I wanted to also mention our work with our architectural firm, CHA, and our building committee. I had emailed the committee originally, but the whole board should have received the links to the videos that Kathy Kogan developed for our staff, who was the audience of those, regarding trends in education, design, and role model schools, and also a survey that will be distributed probably early next week to our teachers. And these are important elements as a prelude to very foundational work to this process of schools construction, and that's the educational specifications process. So those, I would encourage you to take some time to look at those. We had a very productive meeting, and it's energizing and exciting to think that we have this in our near future. And the firm is also working along with their civil engineer on the site search process, and we have some properties that they're looking at. And if I could just talk a little bit about what that involves when we select a site. First of all, the task is to develop parameters for the new site to ensure that it will meet the basic requirements set forth by the Department of Education. And I continue to remind us that the Maine Department of Education School Construction Director and team have a hand in this in every step of this process. Looking at structures that are needed for the educational program and necessary adjunct services such as septic systems, safe access for vehicles and pedestrians, including appropriate separation of private vehicles and school buses and service and delivery vehicles. And that's an example of paving and site circulation, and these elements weren't necessarily taken into consideration the construction of our current buildings here, so that's very important. Reasonable future additions to the project, so this is site capacity, appropriate recreation areas and playing fields, sufficient parking for staff, visitors, and reasonable community use. One of the other processes they go through is soil mapping data, vernal pool mapping data, looking at wildlife habitat, looking at town zoning, general utility mapping to make sure that we have the power, the sewer, the water on that site, proximity to essential services, police, emergency, medical, fire, and review of current abutting streets and pedestrians. We talked a lot about the DOT and traffic flow at our last building committee meeting. And those are just some examples of all the components that are taken into account when the school district, the owners, and the state go forward with the selection process as proposed to the board and as approved by the school community. So our timeline for site selection will probably be prepared to have a straw poll, which is required in the process this fall. And we will probably have a concept design prepared by February, March, because a year from this month, those two components will go to referendum for our voters to consider and hopefully support. So we have some work ahead of us in bringing community together and being very deliberate and thorough and inclusive and visionary on what we want for our children in our communities for this next building. Another piece I'd like to mention is our Title I summer school. Our principals have spoken about our offerings for extended school year, but just as a reminder, this is available on our website. Title I summer school runs from July 6th through August 5th. It'll be 8:30 to 12:45 or 1 p.m. And a lunch, light breakfast and bag lunch will be served, and transportation will be provided to those students. The program will take place at Benton Elementary, so it's a consolidated program for district elementary students. Also, the pickup sites are available on the website. And lastly, just as a reminder, I think this robocall just went out to our community, but the summer meals program, it's a free program for children 18 and under, and it will run June 16th through August 27th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday at Albion, Benton, and Clinton Elementary, Fairfield Primary, and Lawrence Junior High School. And what will be served is a breakfast and lunch option provided, and on Friday food will be provided for the weekend. And if anyone should have questions, please contact our kitchen managers, Jane Reardon, who is here this evening, and Heather Drew Clark. And all that information is available on our website. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Roberta. Moving on to other business. 2021-2022 Co-Curricular Directors, Advisors, and Coaches. No motion necessary. Grade 7 Boys Soccer, Mike Burkhart. Grade 8 Boys Soccer, Susan Morris. Grade 7 Girls Soccer, Alice Heinrich. Grade 8 Girls Soccer, Mark May. Field Hockey, Kim Niles. Cross Country, Dan Janess. Fall Cheering, Emma Harrison. varsity football John Carson, assistant varsity football Peter Curtis, junior varsity football Tom Carson, assistant junior varsity football Jason Pellerin, assistant freshman football Ken Linloff, varsity soccer boys Bob Town, junior varsity soccer boys Ryan Mountain, junior varsity soccer girls Sarah Hebert, varsity field hockey Shauna Robinson, junior varsity field hockey Alexis Lewis, cross country Tim Alberts, golf Scott Ballard, fall cheering Chelsea Harrison. Is there a motion to go into executive session pursuant 1 MRSA section 405(6)A to discuss contract negotiations? It's been moved by Billy Joe, seconded by Ray, to go into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA section 405(6)A to discuss contract negotiations. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 9, 0, 0. 7:54.